All right, let's talk about AI. If you've ever felt like you're only scratching the surface of what it can really do, well, you're in the right place. Today, we are unlocking the power user's edge.
Think about it for a second. For years, building something technical like a website meant you needed some serious, hard-earned skills. That barrier? It's starting to crumble. And it's the same thing in the world of academia. Having to wade through these dense, jargon-filled research papers. That was a skill all on its own. Not anymore. And that's because you now have access to an incredibly powerful technical copilot. Seriously, one that can write code for you, debug errors, and turn these massive data-heavy reports into simple insights. Today, we're going to show you how to take the controls.
So, let's start by putting on our developer hats, so to speak. We're going to see how AI can act as your personal, expert-level programming assistant.
So, what exactly is a programming assistant? Well, think of it as a specific hat you tell the AI to wear. It can generate code from scratch, explain what some confusing script does, hunt down bugs for you, and even clean up your code to make it more efficient. It's kind of like having a senior developer on your team, 24/7.
Okay, let's see this in action with a real-world example. Imagine you need a simple contact form for your website. What's the most basic way you could possibly ask for that? You might just start with something simple like this. And you know what? You will get something back. But it's probably going to be generic, maybe use some outdated code, and it almost certainly won't match your site's design. It's just way too vague.
Now watch what happens when we add just a little bit of specifics. By simply telling the AI which technologies to use, in this case, HTML for the structure and CSS for the style, and then adding that magic word responsive, we're making sure the form will work on phones and desktops. The results are already dramatically better.
But this is where the power user approach really shines. Just look at the level of detail here. We're assigning a role, specifying a modern framework like Tailwind CSS, and giving clear, explicit instructions on the layout. This is how you go from a pretty basic result to a professional-grade one.
So let's break down why this is so effective. By assigning the role of senior front-end developer, we're telling the AI to tap into its huge bank of training data on coding best practices. It's going to mimic an expert. Specifying technologies like Tailwind ensures it uses modern, efficient frameworks. Defining the layout gives it clear rules to follow. And then that final step, asking it to check for bugs, that's like getting a free quality check. It's a complete game changer.
Okay, so we've seen how AI can be a coding wizard. Now, let's explore how it can totally transform the way we handle complex information. We're shifting gears from coding to research, turning our AI into a powerful research partner.
For this, we'll create a new persona, the research paper interpreter. Imagine being able to feed it a dense academic paper and have it instantly break down the structure, pull out the core arguments, and even critique the research methods. That's the power we're talking about. The process is incredibly powerful because it's so structured. You can ask it to summarize just the abstract, or you can have it identify the single most important research question. You can even get it to analyze the methodology and point out potential flaws. It's like having a PhD on call, ready to dissect any paper you throw at it.
But it's not just about summarizing. Oh no, one of the most powerful and time-saving things it can do is data extraction. Imagine you have a wall of text, maybe notes from a meeting or just some text you copied from a website, and you need to pull out every single name, email, and phone number. This used to be a mind-numbing manual task that could take hours. Now, it takes seconds. On the left, you've got the raw, messy text. On the right, a perfectly organized table, all from one simple prompt. It honestly feels like magic, but it's just smart prompting. Now, it's really easy to get excited by all this power, but with great power, well, you know the rest. We have to talk about two absolutely crucial habits every power user needs to develop: verification and citation. You might be thinking, this is amazing. I'll just have the AI write all my code from now on. But is it always flawless? Nope. And this is a big one. You must always treat AI-generated code with a healthy dose of skepticism. Test it in a safe, isolated environment first. It might look like it works, but it could be inefficient, or worse, contain serious security holes. Verify, verify, verify. Okay, what about our research interpreter? Surely if it's summarizing a real paper, the sources it mentions are real, right? This is another critical warning. AI models can hallucinate.
which is a fancy way of saying they can literally invent facts, stats, and even academic citations that look completely plausible, but are totally fake. So the rule of thumb is simple. Always ask for direct links to sources, and then, this is the important part, click on them and make sure they're real.
All right, you've seen the theory. Now it is time to put it into practice. Here is your Power User Challenge.
Here's your mission. First, go find something complicated. A snippet of code you don't get, a technical paragraph from an article, whatever. Your first prompt is to ask the AI to explain it using an analogy. This really tests its translation skills. Second, ask it to improve the original, to rewrite that code to be more efficient or that paragraph to be more concise. This tests its optimization skills.
You see, by combining these sophisticated prompting techniques with smart verification, you move from being a casual user to someone who can leverage AI for serious, high-level technical work. That edge is now within your reach.
You now have the tools to become a technical specialist. If you want to continue leveling up your skills, make sure you subscribe. In our next and final explainer, we're covering the biggest mistakes to avoid, the ethics of AI, and what the future of prompting holds. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.